What's cracking, guys? Today I'm gonna be teaching you how to create a password revealer using C++. Basically, like it's gonna reveal a password like when you're connected to a Wi-Fi network. Let's say, for example, maybe you're using someone's computer and you want to view the password. Yeah, this program is gonna be the simplification of that process. Okay, now let me open up a command prompt. Okay, basically the way it's gonna work now, we're gonna run this command net sh wlan show profile, and then here it's gonna be the name of the Wi-Fi, and then key is equal to clear. Okay, we're gonna run this command, but we're gonna run it using C++. So now, as you can see, where it says key content, that's going to be the Wi-Fi password of the network you provided. So now, but instead of us showing this complicated information here, we're only going to show the password of the Wi-Fi. So the goal of the computer program that we're creating is to basically extract specifically this information here and then display it to the user. Okay, let's get into it. I'm using code blocks to code this, so if you don't have code blocks, you can just go download it. Okay, so I'm gonna create a new project here. I'm gonna create a console application. Choose C++, and then I'm gonna call this password revealer. I'm actually gonna say Wi-Fi password revealer. I'm gonna choose the location of my project where I want it to be stored. Okay, my project is now created. Okay, now we can begin this project. Okay, now so I'm gonna remove this piece of code here because we don't really need it. Okay, I'm gonna create a variable here. I'm gonna call it Wi-Fi name. Oh, another thing I must do is include the fstream library here. We're gonna use this library to actually open files and read them. Okay, let me build to check if everything's okay here. Okay, everything's okay. Okay, now here I have Wi-Fi name. This is gonna be the user input provided by the user to specify the Wi-Fi name, where you want to see the password of the connected Wi-Fi. So now I'm gonna call the getLine method here, and then as the first argument I'm gonna put cin. This is basically the input stream from the console, and then the second argument is gonna be the Wi-Fi name. Okay, the responsibility of this getLine method is to get information from the console that the user has typed. So here I'm just gonna go above here and type cout and put in enter the name of the Wi-Fi you are connected to. And then I'm just gonna test if everything is okay here. Okay, I forgot to put a semicolon here. Okay, it says enter the name of a Wi-Fi connected to, so I'm just gonna enter something here, curious. Yeah, and then it prints out curious. Okay, now the input is working properly. So now what I want to do is execute that command I was telling you about. Okay, so now in order to execute that command, you're gonna use a function called system in small cases, and then inside you're gonna put in that command. But now this function doesn't exist yet in the library, so we need to include it. So I'm just gonna go on top here and type include windows.h, because that is where this function is contained. So now I'm gonna type in net sh wlen show profile, okay, and then now the next thing I'm gonna do is I want to put the Wi-Fi, the user input that the Wi-Fi that the user has entered, like the name of the Wi-Fi. I want to put it inside quotes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do something like this: Wi-Fi name is equal to string and then plus, and then the Wi-Fi name, and then I append another quote again, okay, and then I'm just gonna comment this out and then check if I've done what I wanted to do here. So yeah, I'm just gonna output this to check if it will output in quotes. Okay, I'm just gonna type David here. Okay, yeah, this is what I wanted. Okay, yeah, now the reason why I'm putting this Wi-Fi name in quotes is just in case like the user enters a Wi-Fi name that has spaces, because if the Wi-Fi name has spaces, then an error might be generated, like when I run that code I was telling you about. So yeah, so it needs to be inside quotes just in case. So now I'm just gonna uncomment this, and then instead of me putting this here, I'm gonna type string cmd str, and then okay, this is gonna be my command. And then let me check something. Okay, now this is the command. What I want to put next is the Wi-Fi name. So what I'm gonna do here is type in cmd str and then just add the Wi-Fi name here, and then I'm gonna add plus again, and then I'm gonna say key is equal to clear. Okay, and then now I can call the system function, which is gonna run this command. Okay, so now I'm gonna put in cmd str here, but we must remember that the string variable here is a class, and this system wants a pointer to a C string. Okay, so I need to convert it to a C string. So the way I do that is I type dot and then C str. Okay, let me just double check if everything is okay. Okay, now I'm gonna build here again and then run this program. Okay, I'm gonna run this program here, and then yeah, I'm gonna type in the name of my Wi-Fi here, and then now we can see that the command has run successfully. Okay, so let me close this. Now another thing we want to do here is, now you need to understand that the system function returns a specific number if everything is okay and if everything is not okay. So if everything is okay, it's going to return 0, and if everything is not okay, it's going to return a different number than 0. So we need to store the system function in a variable to store the result of it. So I'm going to type in int error code here, and then now I'm going to put an if statement here. If this is equal to 0, then it means that the command was successful. So we want to continue further. And then if it's not successful, then we want to terminate the program. Okay, so now I'm just gonna comment here, command successful. Okay, so if an error occurred, I'm just gonna print could not find the Wi-Fi network. And right, and then if okay, if everything was okay, then I'm not gonna do anything because information would have already been printed here. Okay, so now I'm gonna build again, and then I'm gonna run this. Okay, now I'm gonna type in gibberish and then to see how it works. Okay, now we can see here could not find network, right? So we now understand, and we now understand the error code that is returned by the system. Now what I want to do here is I want to exit. Okay, I want to exit the program if an error occurred. And then now, if everything was successful, I want to move on further. Now, what I want to do next is I want to direct the result. Okay, the result generated by this command into a file. So instead of this information being shown in the console, I want it to be shown inside a file. So in order to do that, I'm just gonna modify this command here, type in space and then a small arrow and then the name of the file. I'm gonna call the file Wi-Fi password.txt. Okay, and then I'm gonna build again here. Okay, I'm gonna run, and then I'm gonna type in the name of the valid Wi-Fi here. Okay, we can see that nothing much happened except the printing out of Curious Galaxy, which I'm going to remove here. It shouldn't have happened. Let me just remove this code quickly. And then now what happened is that the result of the command was transferred to a file called Wi-Fi password. So I'm gonna go to where I stored my projects here to go find that file. So I'm just gonna right click here, click properties, and then I can see that this is where my project was stored. So I'm just gonna type in that address here, blocks. And then I'm gonna go to my project here, which I called Wi-Fi Revealer. And then we can see we have a file here. It's called Wi-Fi password. I'm just gonna double click and show you. Okay, we can see now that the information was transferred to the file. Okay, now we've learned how to transfer the output of a command to a file. So now the next thing to do is to read from that file. So okay, basically what we want to do now is we want this information here, key content, right? Because this is our password, so we don't care about anything else. So now the way we're gonna do it is we're gonna analyze, we're gonna read the file and then analyze it line by line. And then if we observe here, we can see that the only line that contains the word key content is this one over here. So the minute we see this line, we're gonna extract the password from this line, and then we're gonna stop scanning, because this is the only thing we are looking for. So now let's go to the code here and do what I just said here. Okay, now what we are gonna need is fstream. Make sure that you have imported this because we're gonna use this to read our file. So now I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna create an object called fstream. This is gonna allow us to read the file, and then instead of FIS, let me call it FS, and then I'm gonna open the file. Remember we called it Wi-Fi password.txt, right? Actually, I think I'm gonna create a variable for this. Let me put it here. File name. Okay. Okay, let me double check here whether I've spelled it okay. Okay, spelled okay. Now this open function, it takes as an argument a C string, so I'm gonna provide that right here. Make sure that I convert a string into a C string here, and then now the next argument, I need to indicate that I'm trying to read the file. So what I'm gonna do is put in iOS, and then I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it's iOS in. It's iOS in here. Okay, now our file. The next thing to do is to check whether our file is open. So in order to do that, we do this fs dot is open, and then now at the end we're gonna close our stream because we are done working with it. So now what I want to do at the moment is check whether we have successfully opened our file here. Okay, so I'm just gonna print the file is open. Let me build and then run this again here. Okay, I'm gonna type in the name of the Wi-Fi network. Okay, yeah, everything is okay now. We now understand that the file is open when we call this open. Now what we need to do is read the file line by line. Okay, and this is how we do it here. So now I'm gonna create a variable here, and I'm gonna call it line. Okay, it's a string variable. Now what I'm gonna do is while. I'm gonna use a while loop here, and then inside I'm gonna call the getLine method. Okay, so this getLine method will return true if it has successfully read a line from a file. Okay, so if it fails to read a line from a file, it's gonna return false. So now as an argument, I'm gonna provide a stream here, which is at the moment fs, and then the next argument is the string that we're trying to read from. So basically it's gonna read from a file, and then the line that it reads, it's gonna store it inside the line variable that I created here. So now let me print out this just to check if the file is being read successfully. Okay, so I'm gonna build here, I'm gonna run again. Okay, the same process. Okay, I typed the Wi-Fi network name wrong, so let me run this again. Okay, now we can see that the file is being read successfully here, because this is the the what we read from that file. So now the next thing to do is we are trying to only deal with this specific line here. Okay, so now let's go back to the code so that I can show you how to extract only from this specific line. Okay, so we're gonna take it step by step here. So now I'm gonna remove this code here, and then now what I'm gonna do here is the string has this method called find. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm gonna create a variable here called what should I call it? Let me say key content, because that's what we're looking for, and then line dot find. Okay, and then remember what we're looking for. We are looking for any line that has the word key, the phrase key content. So now I'm gonna type in that word here, key content, and then now if the line contains this word key content, then I want to print out that line. So the way to check it is like this. So if key content is not equal to string dot endpost. So okay, so now there's a variable called endpost. It's actually a constant. So when you're trying to find a word or a phrase within a string and the string class failed to find it, so it's gonna return an endpost. So in this case we are testing if the string doesn't return this value, because if it doesn't return this value, it means the phrase key content was found in that line, so we want to print it out. So now let me do this, and then I'm gonna print out found, and then on the next line I'm gonna print out the specific line that I found there. Okay, I'm gonna let me close this and then let me build again. Okay, what's the issue now? Let me check. Oh, not count, I meant to say C out here. And then let's build again. Okay, now I'm gonna run the program again. Okay, the same process. Okay, now this is exactly what we're looking for. Now we can see that it only printed out the key content line, and this is the only thing that we are looking for. And then now it has specified that it was found here. So now the next thing that's left to do is to extract this password, right? This is the only thing that we want here. So to do that is actually easy, because all you need to do is find the position of this colon here, and then from that colon we can see that there's a space and then there's the beginning of the password. So this means that we're gonna find the index of this colon, and then we're gonna add 2 to it in order to get the position of the beginning of this password here. So if you don't understand, just listen to what I've said repeatedly, you'll get it. Okay, so yeah, let me go to the code now and do this. Okay, I'm gonna remove this. Okay, I'm gonna create a variable here, call it colon, and then okay, we're looking for this colon, and then remember, like I said, we add 2 to it. And then now I'm gonna create a variable here called password, which is going to be a substring of this line here. And then now what I'm going to do is print out the password just to check if what I did is correct. Okay, and then another thing we must remember is that if this if statement executes, it means that we have found what we are looking for, so there's no need to continue this loop. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break the loop here so that it stops scanning the file even more, because we have found what we are looking for. Okay, so let me build here and then let me run this again. Okay, now as you can see, now the password is being printed out here. Now we are already done with the computer program. The last thing to do is to basically notify the user that this is the password, blah blah blah. So let's get into that. Okay, so now instead of just printing the password here, I'm just gonna say let me see. Okay, the password of, and then Wi-Fi name is, and then the password, and then lastly we print out the end character. So let me build again. I'm gonna enter. Okay, now the computer program is done. Now you know how to create a password Wi-Fi revealer. So yeah, if you found this content useful, please subscribe to the channel to get more of this kind of content. Don't forget to like and press that notification button. Thank you.